Hey, Riddle here. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if it's your first time. So I'm just finishing this giant, larger than life-size unicorn, and it has been really challenging. I made it from dying tan oak saplings because we live in Northern California and there's a specific species of local tree that's disappearing. So I thought it was kind of appropriate to make a giant unicorn out of it. And this video is kind of to educate people a little bit about art and artists, and also for artists to kind of prop you up. So when I was making this unicorn in process, you know, it wasn't easy. There's no blueprint. It didn't come from a kit. It was literally, I had to go into the forest, cut down hundreds and hundreds of trees, clean their leaves, and then I had to create the frame and the form so it made sense and actually looked something like a horse. And well, people along the way, you know, they were constructively critical. I wouldn't say people were overly supportive though, because we live in this weird world now that if something isn't making money, it has no value, it has no purpose. That's really interesting, because if you think about all the things in the world that were made without the motivation of being part of the system, imagine taking all those things away. And if you look at the state of nature right now and the state of the planet in regards to that type of energy and that type of thought, you can see why we're in such trouble with, ecologically. So another thing I get, you know, when I was creating this unicorn, a lot of people said, well, that's fun. Isn't that fun? And I know that that wasn't meant to be an insult, but it's really interesting, especially in the United States where culture is so low. You know, I think one of the only places that you can find now culture, art, and artists with given any type of respect is either in parts of Europe like France or Cuba, where they understand that physiologically art is not creative. It's not just creative. It's a valid form of intelligence. That's right. It's because if it didn't define humanity, if it didn't define human intelligence, then birds would make art, or monkeys would make art, or anything would make art on this planet, insects. But the fact is that humans are designed with a particular type of brain that we're allowed to, instead of thinking of there is food, I eat food, we have this larger brain that gives us this space in between that we could take a radish and actually turn it into a rose and arrange it on a plate and then possibly decide to eat it. And this is indicative to only the human brain. So in places in the world where art and artists are respected and not expected just to make money and just to do things to be consumed for the sake of being part of the capitalist machine, we are recognized as intelligent. The same amount of intelligence or the same level of intelligence as a doctor or a lawyer. And here in the US, I have to say, I think there's a general lack of intelligence these days concerning many things, but there's a massive lack of intelligence when it comes to the importance of the consumption of and the support of art and artists. So many people can afford themselves the latest technology. They can afford an oversized home, but you go into that home and the walls are empty. They have no understanding, appreciation, connection to what culture is. And the understanding that without artists, entire civilizations would have disappeared. Without the humble artists recording our most banal history. So next time, you know, you dismiss a giant unicorn, because I find even making something as crazy as this giant unicorn, so many people will just walk by it as if it was a turd and a turd on a sidewalk. Just shows you how ignorant and blind people have become to what it actually takes to first have something with no shape, just firing neurons in your brain, a vision, an idea, and then to actually take that idea and physically manifest it into this world without a machine, with your bare hands, and just with your intelligence. And that being said, next time you look at a piece of art, remember, it's not just clever. It's not just creative. It's intelligent. Thanks for listening. If you like my quick money-saving tips, art, organic gardening, home fix-it things, and occasional magic, please subscribe. It helps. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other, because how we treat each other on the streets, that's our ultimate reality, folks. Bye for now.